A lion and a great white shark are the two most feared hunters on the planet. One rules the land, one rules the sea. And if you put them in the same world, every instinct in your body says they would destroy each other. But here's the part nobody talks about. They never do. Not lions and crocodiles, not wolves and bears, not tigers and leopards, not even the most powerful creatures alive. They look at each other, they hold eye contact, and they walk away. No bloodshed, no battle, nothing. And when you find out why, it will completely change how you think about power. Let us start with something that happened in Kenya's Masai Mara in 2019. A lion, a full-grown male, roughly 420 pounds of pure muscle, walked up to a Nile crocodile at a watering hole. The crocodile weighed nearly twice as much. It had jaws capable of 3,700 pounds of bite force, the strongest bite of any animal on Earth. The lion stood close enough to touch it. And then something happened that wildlife biologist Yvette Venter, who was filming that day, described as one of the most extraordinary things she had ever witnessed in 20 years in the field. The lion drank its water. The crocodile watched, and neither one moved to attack the other. She said it was not fear, it was something else entirely, and she was right, because what you are watching in that moment is not two animals being cautious. You are watching the result of millions of years of a biological calculation so precise, so ruthlessly logical, that it has become encoded into the nervous system of every apex predator alive. Here is what that calculation is. Every apex predator on Earth operates under one iron rule. The rule is not hunt everything in sight. The rule is this: do not get injured. Because for an apex predator, injury does not mean pain. It means death. Not immediate death. Something slower and more horrifying. It means starvation. Think about what it costs a lion to catch a zebra. It sprints at 50 miles per hour. It collides with an animal that weighs 700 pounds and is kicking with legs powerful enough to shatter bone. On average, lions fail to make a kill 75% of the time. Their bodies are already running on a razor-thin margin. A torn ligament, a cracked rib, a punctured eye. Any single one of those injuries removes a lion from the hunt, and a lion that cannot hunt does not eat, and a lion that does not eat is dead within weeks. Now imagine that same lion deciding to fight a crocodile. Even if the lion wins, and that is not guaranteed, it will almost certainly take damage. A crocodile's teeth are not just sharp. They are conical, designed not to cut but to lock and rotate, tearing chunks of flesh from whatever they grip. One bite to the leg and the lion limps for months. One bite to the face and it cannot see to stalk. The lion could kill the crocodile and still walk away with a wound that kills it 3 weeks later. This is why the lion walks away. It is not cowardice. It is the coldest, most ruthless cost-benefit analysis in nature. And every apex predator runs this same calculation, every single time. Biologist Tim Caro at UC Davis spent years studying predator decision-making and found something that shocked the scientific community. He discovered that apex predators are not actually driven by aggression the way most people assume. They are driven by efficiency. Aggression is expensive, energy is finite, and every apex predator on Earth has evolved to spend its energy where the return is guaranteed, not where it is dangerous. This is why wolves and grizzly bears coexist in Yellowstone. They do not ignore each other. They are intensely aware of each other. But their territories overlap, and they rarely fight to the death. When they do engage, it is almost always over a carcass, a guaranteed food source, not over dominance for its own sake. The calculation only changes when the resource is already there, and it is worth fighting for. But here is where it gets stranger. Apex predators do not just avoid each other randomly. They have developed an invisible communication system so sophisticated it functions almost like a language, and it operates entirely through scent. A tiger does not wander into another tiger's territory by accident. Before it ever reaches that territory, it has already read a detailed chemical message left on a tree, a rock, a patch of grass. That message contains information scientists are still working to fully decode. But what they have confirmed is remarkable. It communicates the size of the animal, its health, whether it has fed recently, how long ago it passed through, and potentially its reproductive status. In a 2021 study published in the journal Current Biology, Researchers analyzing the scent-marking behavior of Amur tigers found that tigers could assess the competitive threat level of a rival from scent alone, and would actively redirect their movement to avoid overlap with a larger, healthier rival. Not because they were told to, not because they had learned it, because their biology had been shaped over millions of years to make avoidance the automatic response when the cost of conflict outweighs the benefit. They are reading a landscape of invisible signals that you walk through every day and perceive as nothing. Now here's the twist that breaks every assumption you had coming into this video. Apex predators do fight each other. They just almost never fight to kill. This distinction is everything. When two male lions clash over a pride, they roar, they charge, they swipe. But the vast majority of these confrontations end with one animal retreating. Even when they do make contact, the goal is not to destroy the rival. It is to communicate, to establish who is stronger without paying the full biological cost of a fight to the finish. Scientists call this ritualized combat, and it appears in virtually every apex predator species on Earth. Male Komodo dragons wrestle, standing upright on their hind legs until one pins the other and the loser walks away. Wolves snap and snarl through dominance displays that rarely escalate to genuine injury. Even great white sharks have been observed in what researchers describe as parallel swimming, two sharks circling each other, sizing each other up before one peels away. No blood, no death. What you are watching is a biological negotiation, and the reason it exists comes back to the same logic. If two apex predators fought to the death every time their interests conflicted, both species would collapse. There are not enough of them. They are rare by design, because the ecosystems they control cannot support large numbers of animals that eat everything and compete with nothing. So evolution built in a circuit breaker, a kill switch on the kill switch. These animals are wired to assess, signal, and defer, because the alternative is mutual destruction, and mutual destruction serves no one, least of all them. Here is the part that will stay with you. In 2009, wildlife ecologist Mark Hebblewhite published research tracking wolf and elk populations in Yellowstone over a decade after wolves were reintroduced. What he found was not just about wolves and elk, it was about the entire ecosystem. The wolves did not just change what the elk did, they changed where the elk dared to go. The elk avoided riverbanks, which allowed vegetation to regrow, which stabilized riverbanks, which changed the course of rivers. The wolves had reshaped the physical landscape of an entire national park, not by being everywhere, but by being feared everywhere. This is the true power of an apex predator, not the fight, the threat of the fight. When two apex predators encounter each other and choose not to engage, they are not being passive. They are both radiating that same threat simultaneously. And the one who backs down first is not the weaker one. They are the smarter one, the one who calculated the cost and refused to pay it. Because strength in the real world is not about who is willing to fight everything. It is about who is disciplined enough to choose their battles so carefully that they almost never have to fight at all. And the next time you see footage of a lion and a crocodile sharing a watering hole in silence, you will understand that what you are watching is not two animals being peaceful. You are watching two of the most dangerous things on Earth doing the most dangerous thing possible, holding back.